From Wish TV and the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is the News 8 Daily 8 Podcast with Wish TV's Kylie Conway. A Wish TV News 8 update.
Hi, this is Kylie Conway, and this is your News 8 Daily 8 from Monday, April 25th. Bear with me here. I'm dealing with a little bit of cold. I always blame it on allergies, but I'm not quite sure that's the case. But feeling okay. Just forgive me for sounding a little nasally this morning. But we are going to have somewhat a cold day today, certainly cooler than we had over the weekend. And that's going to bring some rain showers, few rumbles of thunder possible in central Indiana through the mid-morning into midday. As far as the afternoon, rain chances decrease. Going to have some mainly cloudy skies, though, with highs in the low to mid-60s. IMPD says a cell phone deal turned into a shooting on the city's west side. Now police are searching for 3 young suspects. The shooting happened at the Covington Square Apartments near I-465 and Rockville Road. Officers told our mobile news tracker, Kevin Rotterman, that the suspect shot a man. He's in good condition at the hospital. Police say the suspects are all male and in their late teens or early 20s. 3 people are dead in what police are calling a double homicide and suicide. It happened on the far west side of Indianapolis on Countryside Drive in a neighborhood near 465 and Morris. IMPD says it started with a call of gunshots at the house Sunday afternoon. When officers got there, they say they talked to an armed man outside the house who then went inside. Then officers heard gunshots and took over. They took cover as well. A SWAT team surrounded the home for several hours, and at one point, IMPD says officers fired non-lethal rounds. The team eventually went inside the home where IMPD says that they found a woman and 2 men shot and killed. Police believe one of the men shot the others. IMPD has not released any names or said what led to the shooting. And IMPD says we all must be better to stop senseless crime. The double homicide-suicide capped off a violent weekend in Indianapolis. Police say at least 6 other people died in shootings since Friday and 9 others were hurt. 4 of the victims died in shootings on the far east side. IMPD wrote a statement last night recognizing the impact the violence has had on victims, their families, the community, and the officers who responded. The department says, as a community, we are better than resorting to violence to resolve conflict or committing unprovoked acts of violence. We must be better for our families, our community, and our future. But we cannot do it alone. Police cannot do it alone. It will take each one of us working together to stop this senseless violence. IMPD hasn't released information about potential suspects for any of the weekend shootings. The department does say it's responded to 65 homicides and 62 murders so far this year. That's compared to 79 homicides and 76 murders at this time last year. And autopsies are scheduled today in Tippecanoe County for 2 people killed at a block party in Lafayette. 4 other people are wounded. The party was at the Romney Meadows apartment complex off 52 and Old Romney Road. Police say more than 100 people were there just after 4 in the morning when a fight started. It ended in gunfire. Investigators say that they found shell casings inside and outside the complex. Bullets hit cars and buildings. One man says he was visiting family when he heard the shots, and he's not surprised.
West Lafayette, you ain't got to worry about this, basically. But in Lafayette, over here in this area, it get real bad. It's real bad. And it's going to continue getting bad.
Police have yet not released the names of the victims or said if they have any suspects. Violence erupted during Little 500 weekend in Bloomington. In case you missed it, police say someone shot 3 people during a fight at the Kaleo nightclub early Saturday morning. It's less than a mile from IU's campus. Police say surveillance video showed the suspect fire multiple times into the crowded bar before running off. Police last said 2 of the victims are stable at the hospital. A 3rd was released. So far, no arrests. Now to the war in Ukraine. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken says American diplomats will be back in Ukraine starting next week to work toward reopening the U.S. Embassy in Kyiv. Blinken and Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin visited Ukraine over the weekend. They are the highest-level Americans to visit Kyiv since Russia first invaded 2 months ago.
This was, in our judgment, an important moment to be there, an important moment for Ukraine, for the war, an important moment to have face-to-face conversations in detail about the extraordinary support that we provided, security, economic, humanitarian, as well as the massive pressure that we've been exerting on Russia, and then to talk in detail about how we carry that forward.
Blinken and Austin promised Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky hundreds of millions of dollars in ammunition and foreign military financing. Zelensky thanked the U.S. government for what he called unprecedented assistance. Ukraine says Russian forces are bombing the steel plant said to be the last Ukrainian holdout in Mariupol. Ukraine says more than 100,000 people are trapped in the siege of the city. And new video shows more of the destruction left behind over the last 2 months. We saw images this morning out of a village in northwestern Ukraine that showed fallen buildings, caved-in roofs, and piles of rubble. In the United States, some members of Congress are pushing for the reestablishment of an American diplomat presence. Indiana Representative Victoria Spartz was born in Ukraine. She's pleased with the visit of Blinken and Austin and wants the president to go too.
I'm glad to see some step, and I hope President Biden will actually someday to make here to meet with President Zelensky. Prime Minister Boris Johnson came to Ukraine. I think we can do it. We're strong people. We're a strong country. We definitely can arrange for our people to come here and visit Ukrainians.
Spartz says she visited Kyiv this weekend to see her grandmother. She also met with church leaders there. French President Emmanuel Macron has secured a second 5-year term in office on Sunday. Macron became the first French president to win re-election in 20 years. He thanked supporters overnight against the backdrop of the Eiffel Tower. European leaders hailed Macron's victory since France has played a leading role in the international efforts to punish Russia with sanctions. President Joe Biden sent his congratulations to Macron, saying on social media, "France is our oldest ally and a key partner in addressing global challenges. I look forward to our continued close cooperation, including on supporting Ukraine, defending democracy, and countering climate change." 9 early voting sites are open in Marion County ahead of the May 3rd primary election. They include the county clerk's office downtown and one in each of other Marion County townships. We do have a list of all the sites on our website right now. Just go to wishtv.com and look in the As Seen on Wish TV section where you'll find this story. A New York firefighter and a man are dead after a house fire in Brooklyn. Authorities say a 31-year-old Timothy Klein died yesterday when a ceiling collapsed. Police say a 21-year-old who lived in the house is also unaccounted for. More than 100 firefighters responded to the 3-alarm fire in Canarsie. The New York Fire Department says 8 other firefighters were hurt. No word yet on the names and conditions of those injured. Today, Johnny Depp will take the stand again in the defamation trial against his ex-wife, Amber Heard. Depp will likely be cross-examined more by Heard's lawyer. As we've reported, Depp is suing Heard for $50 million over a 2018 op-ed she wrote about surviving domestic abuse. The couple accuses each other of physical violence and both deny the other's claims. The first all-private SpaceX mission to the International Space Station returns today. It launched on April 8th. It was initially scheduled to be a 10-day trip, but weather delayed the return by a week. The crew includes a former NASA astronaut, an Israeli businessman, a Canadian investor, and an Ohio real estate mogul. The mission is set to splash down off the coast of Florida at 1 o'clock this afternoon. And the founder of SpaceX appears closer to buying Twitter. A new report in the New York Times says Twitter's board and Elon Musk negotiated overnight into early this morning. The talks included a timeline and the penalties that would kick in if the sides reach an agreement that then falls apart. Musk announced last week that he lined up $46.5 billion in financing to buy Twitter. He claims Twitter is not living up to its potential as a platform for free speech. An IU baseball great melts down. Kyle Schwarber, now playing for the Phillies, struck out in the bottom of the 9th and lost it. He threw his bat, flung his helmet, raced back to the plate to tell umpire Angel Hernandez how wrong the call was. And the Phillies ultimately lost to the Brewers, and Schwarber is likely to lose some games if the Major League offices hand down a suspension. And we are less than 1 week away from the NFL draft. The team already has several new players through trades and free agency, including incoming stars Matt Ryan and Stephen Gilmore. They are getting to know each other through off-season training program. Head coach Frank Reich is speaking highly of his boss for bringing them on board, saying Chris Ballard is the best of the best in his words. Now, the draft does start Thursday. The Colts do not have a first-round pick. They do have a second-round selection, one of 7 picks overall. This has been your News 8 Daily 8 for Wish TV. I'm Kylie Conway, online at wishtv.com, and follow us on Facebook when you search Wish TV.
This is the News 8 Daily 8 podcast with Wish TV's Kylie Conway. A Wish TV News 8 update on demand for even more on demand and on the go. Connect with Wish TV on Facebook at wishtv.com and on the free Wish TV mobile app. Thank you for listening, and be sure to like, subscribe, and follow this podcast for updates every weekday morning on the All Indiana Podcast Network and wherever you get your podcast.